All right, so you're moving to the Portland area and wondering how to pronounce some of these names that you're seeing on the map or, in some of the research that you're doing. Well, in this video, we're going to clarify some of the most mispronounced names and terms related to the Portland area, and all that starts now. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Paul Clem with the Home Team Brokers coming to you from Portland, Oregon. If this is your first time to the channel, living in Oregon, hit the subscribe button, tap the little bell to get notified when we drop a new video. People reach out to us all the time who are thinking about moving here, and we love to hear from you. So if that's you, give us a call, send us a text, shoot us an email, or click the link below in the description of this video and schedule a Zoom call with us. We would love to chat with you about your home search. Okay, so kind of a quick, simple video here. I'm not going to get too much into the substance of some of these particular areas, but I want to talk about some of the more commonly mispronounced names when we're talking about kind of the greater Portland metro area and Portland proper. So first and foremost, we're going to start with Oregon.
Oregon.
Most people probably are saying Oregon correctly, but over the years, you've probably heard people say Oregon, or, maybe just kind of slight variations of the correct pronunciation, which is Oregon. So it's, think about O-R, and again, Oregon. Pretty simple, but, figured we would start there. Next, we have the beautiful river that runs through the heart of Portland, as well as Western Oregon, the Willamette River.
Willamette.
This one gets mispronounced quite often. You hear like Willamette, Willamette, and of course the Willamette River runs right through downtown Portland. So Willamette is how you say that. Definitely one to take note of because it's something you'll be saying a lot, and it's something that does get commonly mispronounced. So also in Portland, you have Couch Street, which is spelled like couch. So C-O-U-C-H, Couch, not couch. And if you're looking in like Northwest Portland, or if you're looking in like the Pearl District, maybe at some condos and you're seeing Couch Street come up, just know that that's not couch. It's actually pronounced Couch. That one gets commonly mispronounced as well. There's also on the east side in Northeast Portland, which actually goes through the Rose Quarter where the Moda Center is, where the Trailblazers play basketball and where there's a lot of concerts and things like that. You have Weidler. And Weidler Street commonly gets mispronounced as Weedler. So yes, weed is legal in Oregon, but no, this street is not named Weedler. It is in fact Weidler. So, just for your reference, if you see that come up, it's Weidler. Let's see. So sticking within Portland, there's a neighborhood on the backside of Mount Tabor. Mount Tabor is kind of this big natural, nature area with hiking and biking trails and things like that. It's really awesome. You actually have a sweet view of downtown Portland looking west from the top of Mount Tabor. So definitely a place that if you're moving to the area, you're going to end up hanging out. It's not Tabor. I have never really heard it mispronounced that way, but it is in fact Mount Tabor. And on the backside, you have a neighborhood called Montevilla. A lot of people say Montevilla, or I've heard it mispronounced that way. I don't know the exact origin. Maybe in some context you would say Montevilla, but it is in fact, when you see this place on a map, maybe you're looking at homes there, it's Montevilla. Great neighborhood too, by the way. And then let's see, there's probably some other neighborhoods of Portland. I'll see if I can think of that as we're going through. On the west side, actually, just kind of in Southwest Portland, unincorporated Washington County, kind of bumping up into Beaverton, right on the county line, you have Raleigh Hills. There's like a Raleigh, North Carolina, although that they do kind of say that like Raleigh. So just know that it's Raleigh Hills. I have heard actually some people mispronounce that one a couple times. So Raleigh Hills, it's a great neighborhood too. It's, it's a great place to, potentially look for homes. So that one's worth mentioning. And then into some of the suburbs, some, in particular, some that are a little bit harder to pronounce or that get mispronounced quite a bit. You have Tualatin, which it's a Native American name. Actually, the West Hills behind Portland, those are called the Tualatin Mountains. And then just south of Portland, you have a little suburb, which is an awesome area, definitely very suburban feel, called Tualatin. So I've heard people say Tualatin, Tualatin, or, it's kind of hard if you haven't heard it said, but it is Tualatin. It gets misspelled quite a bit too. So a common way it gets misspelled is with T-A-N at the end. It's T-U-A-L-A-T-I-N. So tin, that's a good way to think of it if you're spelling that out. But yeah, Tualatin. Just north of Tualatin, you have a suburb called Tigard, which it seems like everybody mispronounces if they're not from here. A lot of people say Tigard, but it's actually Tigard. So that's definitely one to note as well. Also a great area, a lot of great neighborhoods in Tigard. And then just east of Tigard and Tualatin, you have Lake Oswego. And if you're coming from New York, I think there's an Oswego Lake in New York. So it's pronounced the same way. I have heard that one mispronounced, or people kind of have a hard time with that, Lake Oswego. And that's probably one of the most sought after suburbs in the Portland metro area. So, if it's an area that you're interested in, of course, you're going to want to know how to pronounce it. Okay, so moving on the east side, you do have Clackamas County, which incorporates a lot of different towns and suburbs in the Portland metro area. So you have Washington County, Multnomah County. Multnomah might be kind of a tough one too, but it's pretty self-explanatory, Multnomah. And then Clackamas County, which is primarily on the east side of the river, although West Lynn and Lake Oswego, and I believe some of Wilsonville are in Clackamas County as well. Those are on the west side of the Willamette River, but Clackamas is how it's pronounced. Clackamas, it's not Clackamas or Clackamas. There is a Camas, Washington, which is a really nice suburb of Vancouver, just north of the river, still the Portland metro area. So it's not pronounced the same way as Camas is, like Clackamas, it's Clackamas. So I haven't heard that one get mispronounced too much, but that's probably something that you'll be saying a lot because it is one of the three main counties in this tri-county area that makes up the Portland metro area. There's also, let's see, Helvetia, which is an area that you might end up visiting, a couple times a year because they have great pumpkin patches and great Christmas tree farms. There is the Helvetia Tavern, which is like the only thing in the city limits, more or less, which is really popular. Great burgers, to get after you go get your pumpkin or your Christmas tree. The way it's spelled is kind of funny. It's spelled like Helvetia or Helvetia, but it's pronounced Helvetia. So that's one to know as well. Oh, and another one on the list, more of a suburb that I didn't mention before, kind of sandwiched in between Hillsborough and Beaverton on the west side is a little suburb called Aloha, but it's spelled Aloha. So I hear people say Aloha quite a bit if they're not from the area. It's exactly, it's spelled exactly the same way as Aloha, A-L-O-H-A. But I don't know, here in Portland, we call it Aloha for some reason. So that's another area kind of with some sneaky good neighborhoods. So that's another area that you could end up looking, for your home search in, and just know that when you're seeing that on a map, we pronounce it Aloha. Okay, and last on the list, at least for now, is Scappoose. A lot of people say Scappoose. And this is also kind of a sneaky area just north of downtown Portland. It's actually up in Columbia County, which isn't really considered part of the Portland metro area, but you can get from Scappoose down to like downtown Portland in like 15 minutes. And that Highway 30 that connects the two, there's hardly ever any traffic. Don't speed though, because it's very notorious for for speed traps and getting speeding tickets. But Scappoose is kind of another funny one that you might see on a map and wonder how to pronounce that. Scappoose is the way that at least we say it here. So hopefully that was helpful. There's probably a lot of other names, and things that you might see on a map or in your research. If you're moving to the area that, might have a question mark by it as far as how to pronounce it. If there's anything that we missed, leave a comment down below and we'll address it directly. But otherwise, if you are moving to the area and you want to talk about your home search and talk about what areas are going to fit you best, get in touch with us. Give us a call, send us a text, shoot us an email, or again, you can click the link below in the description of this video and schedule a Zoom call, and we can really dig into your timeline, your search, your needs, your wants, all that good stuff, and get you off and running. And if this video was helpful, give it a like. It really helps us. And subscribe to the channel. Make sure to hit the little bell to get notified when we drop a new video. And until next time, appreciate you watching, and we'll talk to you later.